So Elven Fencer has very interesting abilities, but it also has something that might be confusing at first. So look at Lightning Blade's description. It says physical potency 75, magical potency 75. Attacks a single enemy, inflicts stun. So the stun is great, but how does the damage on this thing work? This is something that initially kind of confused me until I tested it out. So let's compare basic attack, physical potency 100. So we only care about physical attack, the enemy's physical defense, you know, and the potency multiplier, which in this case is a 1 times multiplier. So let's see what happens when we have this guy attack this guy. When we have Ithleon attack Morden or whatever his name is. So active shatter hits a 32. Okay. So this is just a simple calculation. 40 physical attack versus 8 defense, 32 damage. Great. Now what happens when we change the attack? This is where things get kind of weird. So like, let's say we toggle this off. So now we're doing Lightning Blade. So now we have 38 magic attack and 40 physical attack, but then a 0.7 multiplier on both. And how does it calculate the damage? So let's actually check this. So how much damage is he gonna do? So 37 from the other attack, how much is this gonna do? Lightning Blade, 45. Okay, so it is 2 values. From what I understand of this, it's subtracting from the defense like normal for both of the values, and then multiplying that by 0.75 and then adding those together. Now the thing that's crazy though, so it's obvious damage scaling, right? Because hitting with 2 values is typically going to be better than hitting with 1, even at 75% damage reduction. However, the thing that's interesting is he actually joins with a sword that gives both physical and magical attack. So if we equip this, that just gives magic 16, and we attack. So base 16 magic, 0 physical bonus at all. Phantom attack. Oh, that's phantom attack, I'm sorry. That's the wrong attack. Let's switch that off. Phantom attack does 120 magic potency. Okay, so let's have him attack with this. Same attack, 75.75 multiplier on both. Lightning Blade. So 43 but with a guard. I'm pretty sure he hits a 47 when it doesn't guard. Just do it again. Morden's guard rate's quite low. It's like maybe single or low double digits. Alright, so 47 with a magical weapon. Still a huge increase from just using the attack that had 100% multiplier, right? But then what if we change it to this, which gives physical and magical attack? This is where it gets interesting. It actually does care about both of these, but notice how some of these other abilities are just magic potency. So if you see an attack like this, it actually rolls both things, which is kind of crazy. So 47 on a 16 magical might, and now let's look at a 16 magical might plus 8 physical might. 53. Now that's a huge increase from a basic physical attack of 100% modifier, like 100 physical potency on 14 physical strength, which hit a 32. And Morden's defensive stats in this case are pretty similar. So he has 10 magic defense, 8 physical defense. But this attack allows you to deal pretty substantial hybrid damage. That either way, it's going to do something good, because most things don't have high in both like physical and magical defense. And it also stuns. But basically, another way of looking at this attack is it has 150 potency, but also boosts 2 separate things that this class tends to be okay physically, but really good magically. So the average damage on this is actually quite high, and it stuns. So this is quite a powerful ability. Now, what other abilities does this class have? We have another one of these. Attack a row of enemies. This is at level 30 though. Grants the user the ability to evade one attack. This is just massive value here. A row attack that basically has this effect. So you hit really hard damage, like really high damage, especially if they're weak to magic. But this class and some of these like mixed abilities are quite strong and are pretty cool, I think. But this is how they work. I was really curious about this because I'm about to do a class guide on this class, and I was like, I'm not 100% sure how both of these potencies work. Is it 2 attacks? Does it roll both things? It does roll both things. It does look at the physical attack and the magic attack. It subtracts from their magical and physical defense respectively, and then applies the 0.75 multiplier, and that's how you get that final damage. But also notes that things like this weapon and weapons that have hybrid stats do boost the damage substantially. And we compared, so we hit a 47 with just a 0 attack physical and then a 16 attack magical sword, which was the Phantom Knight sword. And then with this weapon, we ended up hitting a 53, so we did 6 more damage, which is pretty substantial. 6 more damage from just using this weapon. And the stats on these are pretty similar. Obviously, Phantom Attack can be useful circumstantially, but the Phantom Attack, let's compare that to the Phantom Attack too, just for fun. So we'll allow him to Phantom Attack. So does it hit higher than a 53? Also consider the other attack stuns, which is massive value. Stun causes a unit to go last in the turn order. Okay, so it hits 53 exactly. So it's similar in some way. So it depends on the stats of the enemy, right? So if you have something with really high magic defense, these hybrid attacks are a little bit better because then it kind of punches through their physical a bit. And if they have really low physical and high magic, you get kind of the best of both worlds where you can kind of punch through on the physical side. If they have even stats, you'll kind of deal decent magic damage and some physical. If they have really high magic and really low physical, I'm sorry, I think I said that twice. Yeah, so high magic, low physical, you punch through on the physical side, and then high physical, low magic, you punch through on the magical side. So it kind of is flexible, and also it stuns either way, so this might be one of the better classes in the game. It has really good utility as well. It can give itself evade, it can give other things evade, remove a debuff from the user, evade 1 attack, activates before allies hit by ranged physical attack, allow ally to evade 1 attack, and then there's other things as well. But pretty interesting how Lightning Blade works. It ends up dealing good damage. So in this case, it's similar to Phantom Attack. Now, some 150 potencies are probably going to outdamage it, but circumstantially, it can outdamage other things based on the enemy defensive values, as well as the offensive values from the weapon you're using. So these like Great Wood swords, for example, the Great Wood weapons are quite good on these hybrid attacks. But also you get a stun, so pretty big value. But yeah, that's it for this one. I just want to go over how these like mixed attack type works. These mixed attack types work, because it's not really clear and it's kind of confusing. So I hope that clears things up for anyone. And now I'm going to go ahead and make a guide on this class, 'cause it's quite good and it's one of my favorite classes right now. But yeah, that's it for this one. Definitely subscribe. Peace.